Krishna. Welcome to Bhagavad Gita as it is. Chapter 2, contents of the Gita summarized. Sloka number 7. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Pratam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tadao Jayamari. Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Vattaswati. Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Kam karoti vacharam pangum nangeti grimit kripatam vande Shri Gurundina Ramananda Madhavasya Chaitanyeshu. So sloka number verse number 7, Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha prajjami tvam dharma samula chetaha yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me sisyaste ham sadimam tam prapannam. Meaning, word to word. Karpanya, of miserliness, dosha, by the weakness, upahata, being affected, swabhavaha, characteristics, prachami, I am asking, tvam, unto you, dharma, religion, samuda, bewildered, chetaha, in heart, yat, what, sreya, all good, shyat, maybe, nishitam, confidently, bruhi, tell, tat, that, me, unto me, shishya, disciple, te, you are, aham, I am, Sadi, just instruct, mom, me, tvam, unto you, prapannam, surrendered. Translation purport given by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered. You please instruct me. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chakshurmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Tadati Swapadantikam Shri Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. So in this verse Arjuna is fully confused about the war, whether he wants to fight, whether he has to fight, or whether he should not fight. In the earlier sloka itself, he was totally bewildered, and his mind was giving so many reasons that unnecessary violence is going to take place, and instead of that I will go and beg in the forest. So many reasons he was telling. But in this 7th verse he says that, my dear Lord, now I am confused about my duty. I have lost my composure and I am totally in perplexed state. So please instruct me whatever good for me, and I am the soul surrendered you. He says, Shishyaste mam swadimam tam prapannam. So here, all this time, Arjuna and Krishna was having a friendly relationship. So when Arjuna was giving so many reasons not to fight, Krishna was chastising him that, you fool, that you don't know anything about this. The Kshatriya's duty has to fight, and if you go without fighting in the war, you will become coward, and it is my order, you have to fight. So you cannot hesitate, or you cannot be reluctant enough to go without fighting. All these reasonings, all these instructions were given by Krishna. But in this verse, Arjuna himself, he has himself narrating that, explaining to Krishna that, Krishna, oh my Lord, I am fully perplexed whether to fight or not to fight. So which is right and which is wrong, I am not able to analyze and I am not able to discriminate. So please, I have become a Sishya for you, I have become disciple for you. So tell me which is good. Shreyas means to do good. So tell me which is to do good, which things I have to do for good, and I am a soul surrendered to you. Now I am your disciple. So it is quite nature even in our material plan, when we are confused to do some situations, when we are confused to proceed in some situations, we will be in perplexed state. So perplexed means totally ulta, we say no in Hindi, ulta. So it's better to approach a bona fide spiritual master and and humbly ask him, like in 434 Krishna says, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshite gnanam jnaninam tattva darshana. Like how Amrish Maharaj, when Durvasa Muni came to his kingdom to get service, to give service to him, that time it was on Dwadasi day, he has to break the fasting. Then immediately he was in confused state. So immediately Amrish Maharaj approached the Brahmanas and the spiritual masters what to do this what to do in such situations. So immediately Brahmanas said, just take a Tulsi water so that it will not affect the Durvasa Muni, this Guru also, and it will also break your fasting also. So they gave a tremendous and brilliant answers. Immediately Amrish Maharaj followed. So there is nothing went wrong, but still Amrish Maharaj understood that it is offense done by Amrish Maharaj, but finally he went and asked excuse from Amrish Maharaj that he has done offense. So that's how even in our material plane also we will be confused in some situations. So during that situations we should immediately take the shelter of a spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, like how Arjuna took in this verse to Krishna and became a disciple to him. So earlier he was a friend, now he has become a disciple. So similarly we also has to take the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. So how to tackle and handle these material situations, which are very sharp and which cannot be handled by our own intelligence. If we try to solve this problem on our own, then we will be in a great danger, or the problem will not get solved. It keeps on prolonging because our intelligence and senses are very limited. So if we take the shelter of the spiritual master knows how to solve these problems in this perplexed mind of a disciple. So it's so here Kripanna means a miserly person. So a miserly person cannot take the decisions in an intelligent way, because miserly means also here is overly affectionate towards his brothers, sisters, mothers, aunt, and all his blood relations and friends and relatives and other dear ones, most near ones and dear ones. So it's also Prabhupada quotes it as a skin disease, because skin disease means the bodily relationship with us and others. If someone comes, our brother or sister or someone comes, immediately we see them through the eyes of body relationship. That is called the skin disease. So Arjuna was in such a consciousness. So because of his attachment towards the family members, Arjuna was not able to make up the decisions. So he was taking very hasty decisions. So the decisions taken up by Arjuna was not so was not intelligent at all, because it is kripanna, the attachment towards his relatives. So all these kripanna activities or the attachment towards family members, he may think that these decisions taken by Arjuna may stop the death of his own kinsmen, but that's not the that's not the case of uh, that's not the case, because here Arjuna has to understand, or we as a living entity has to understand that if Arjuna doesn't kill those living entities, definitely they are going to kill by someone else, and they are going to see the deathbed at any time. So that's for sure, because the body is not permanent, the soul is permanent, and Krishna knows all those things, but still he wants to give credit to his disciple Arjuna. So the Lord, so that is why in that kripanna state, he doesn't want to. He was in a perplexed state, so he immediately surrenders to the Supreme Lord and asking him to do some good to him. So he finally wants to surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. So earlier he was having a friendly talks with Krishna, but now after surrendering, he says, "Now I am your disciple, and I will do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you say." So talks between the master and disciple are serious, and Arjuna wants to take very seriously before the recognized spiritual master. Krishna is therefore the original spiritual master of the science of Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna is the first disciple for understanding Bhagavad Gita. So this makes clear that Krishna is a supreme master, a supreme bona fide spiritual master for all the living entities, and Arjuna is the first disciple of this Bhagavad Gita. And yet foolish mundane scholars explain that one need not submit to Krishna as a person, but to the unborn with Krishna. There is no difference between Krishna within and without. And one who has sense of this understanding is the greatest fool in trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. So some mundane scholars explain that one need not surrender to Krishna as a person, but to the unborn without Krishna. There is no difference between Krishna within and without. So here we should understand that there is no difference between Krishna within and without. So Krishna also sends some his representatives, because Guru represents Krishna. So, and we should take the shelter of such a spiritual master, because he represents Krishna always. So who is the man in the material perplexities? We should understand that if he who does not understand the problems of life, he is a miserly person who does not solve the problems of life as a human, and who quits this world like cats and dogs without understanding the science of self-realization. This human form of life is most valuable asset for the living entity who can utilize it for solving the problems of life. Therefore, one who does not utilize this opportunity properly is a miser. On the other hand, there is a Brahmana, or he who is intelligent enough to utilize this body to solve all the problems of life. Ya yetad aksharam gargi viditvasmal lokat prati sa brahmanaha. So now we can discuss about the material perplexities. So one who does not attain the state of self-realization, so he will leave this body as cats, dogs, and other animals. So one has to understand, one should be self-realized. Self-realized means one has to know who is he and what is his relationship with Lord, and after getting relationship with the Lord, what is his duties to be performed to please the Lord, or to satisfy the Lord. So otherwise he will take birth as the lower grades of life, like cats, dogs, hogs, and other animals. So the human form of life is most valuable asset, and we should not misuse it, or we should not waste this time. So we should, once we get this human life, immediately we should have the inquiry that who am I, and what is my relationship with Lord, and what are my duties to serve, and what Krishna expects from us, and what is this material world, and what is the spiritual world, and what is this karma, about karma tattva, and what is this nature, what is the superior nature, what is inferior nature, and what is the difference between Jiva and Paramatma. All these things we have to consider, we have to learn, and we should attain the stage of self-realization. Otherwise we will be a miserly person like Arjuna in this particular verse will become Krupanna. So the opposite to Krupanna is Brahmana, who is very, very intelligent. And with his intelligence, he reads scriptures, and also he understands scriptures, and he will also apply in his personal life also. So by reading scriptures, one will understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also one will be able to be placed in the most highest guna, that is Sattva Guna, or the beyond Sattva Guna sometimes if he renders pure devotional service. Hare Krishna.